हाँ जी
Presentation to start हो गया. So suppose there are the open source softwares. So what is the integrity of those open source? So suppose they want to download, is it authentic or not? So how they will verify it?
Okay.
Because open source means there may be anything in that software. So there are the some specific website, so we can verify those software is authentic or not. For example, open source firewall it is already authenticated. You have worked on many times. But there are the other software related to cyber security. Those are the open source. So how we will see these are the genuine or not?
Basically, when we talk about open source, there are two type of views are there. One view is that we should not use open source because we do not know about the, because not any one company is behind this type of software, individual persons are there. Second type of persons are who vouch for this open source, that means open source is the best solution. Whether it is firewall, even now these days you are saying same discussion in AI also. Now DeepSeek they are saying that it is open source model, while that open AI that is closed source model. So when we talk about this open source software, first of all, the whole source code is available. That means anybody can check. Vulnerability checking softwares are there. Lot of vulnerability checking softwares or applications are there which can check your code also, whether this code is of it contains any malware or not. That type of already certain softwares are available. I just not remember one or two certain softwares are available which are going to check those vulnerability. Plus what happens in this open source community also, like when I talk about this IP tables firewall, or in certain software even certain companies are involved, like one Linux distribution is using, that is Ubuntu, that is free, but we have got one another Linux distribution is there which is Red Hat based distribution. And please remember, IBM 2 years back they purchased this Red Hat for $34 billion. This was the highest price paid for any company. Now, what happens? Because Red Hat mostly customers are enterprise customers. So whenever they are using any software, in their case they all are open source. So they are checking these type of things. So one thing is this. Second thing is that most of this code has been generated by yesterday also I was telling that a few of the biggest hackers like Bob Young, Linus Torvald, they were the biggest hackers of their own time. They have created this type of thing. Mostly because source code is available. If I am a doubtful, what I can do, I can check that source code, whether it contains malware or that type of thing. But if the software is some newly software has been launched, suppose I have created my own firewall, like in my case also, we have created one SDN based firewall by using Python code. Now when I have created that firewall, nobody is certain about that firewall, whether I have put certain malware or that or not. But in my case, we have not released the code also. So if I am just going to give you the binary of that, you will not be able to find out whether certain malware is there or not. But if I am going to release the source code of that, what you are going to do? You are going to check that code before using that my code into your commercial product. So the benefit of that open source is always that hundreds of people are there, or hundreds of organizations are there, which can, if you do not have the capability, they are going to check for the quality of the software that open source people are generating. So mostly we have found even two of the biggest example of open source in which almost now 30% IT industry is running. One is Docker, one is Kubernetes, new technologies. They are coming up, which are 100% more efficient, not 100, 10 times more efficient the technology we are currently using. and that Kubernetes was open sourced by that Google people. Again, before the other companies started using, they properly check that code. So mostly individual persons are also checking those code. Plus, companies are multi-billion-dollar companies are built around those code. They are also checking that code before integrating into their solution. So I am also of the second opinion that open source is the best thing that you should follow. Because in OpenAI, we do not know what is behind the scene. But in DeepSeek, although it is a Chinese model, but still their source code, that type of thing is available. So we can always check whether certain malwares are also. So in my case, or most of the industry people, they are of that opinion that open source is the best thing that can happen. And plus, second thing, in closed source, if I am a company, how many person I can employ? 10, 15, 100, 2,000, 3,000, and we have know that almost all the companies, they are downgrading. But in the open source, even in the case of that Kubernetes product, more than 10,000 persons are working. This IP table itself, more than 4,000 to 5,000 persons are continuously working on this type of product, and they are working out of passion. So mostly we have found that these open source models or product, they are very robust and very powerful, and security issues are not there. So this is my take on that. Hopefully this clear. So again, I'm moving towards that. Means we will be discussing one firewall which is open source. Now please remember, when we move to any firewall, we should always consider what are the alternative products available. Like yesterday when I was talking about that intrusion detection system, I told that one proprietary software is there, which is going to cost you 60,000 to 70,000 per year. That software's name was Snort, S-N-O-R-T, Snort. That is the number one software that is considered. But equivalent, even more powerful software is Suricata that we discussed. And please remember, if you know that Snort software, easily you can move into that Suricata. Only the directory, the name is changed. Like their Suricata, the directory name was Suricata. In the case of Snort, it is Snort. That is the only difference. That means if you are master of Snort, within 1 hour you can move into that Suricata type of thing. And they have always promised that this is going to be free. Because in the case of Snort, what happened? Earlier it was free and open source. But later on what they did, they made it closed source, that type of thing. So they have promised that they are never going to change that type of meaning to proprietary. So here, when we are talking about firewall, we should understand which are the firewall available, which type and how much they are going to cost, and how the firewall that we are going to discuss, where it stands. So when we talk about the firewall, the earlier known firewall, the best firewall that is considered, that is adaptive security appliance, that is Cisco's firewall. Earlier name of this firewall was Pix firewall. And please remember, Cisco is annually their turnover is approximately $56 billion, and almost 1/5 of revenue is from this firewall only. And when you are going to purchase this firewall, it is going to at least cost you 20 lakh rupees. It depends on how many system, how many users will be there. So it will start from 20 lakh, it could be up to, cost could be 1 crore rupees. So we are taking, it will at least going to cost you 20 lakh. And when you are going to purchase this firewall, they will give you one physical device. So sometimes we call this as a hardware firewall also, because they are providing us, although in this hardware, software is there. And second thing, once you have spent 20 lakh, you need one person with specialization in this firewall, and remember that person is going to cost you lot of money per month, because we need, if I have purchased a helicopter, I will not fly that helicopter, I need pilot, that is going to cost me lot of money. So fixed cost is also involved, plus running cost is also involved. Sometimes we are concerned with the fixed cost, but we forget about that. Every month you have to pay. That will pinch you every month that you are going to pay. Then second firewall that comes into our mind is checkpoint firewall. Again, minimum cost is 20 lakh rupees. Again, when you will go to, they will give you the physical hardware. So we call this as also as your hardware firewall. Plus, once we have purchased, we need one person who has got the expertise of running this checkpoint firewall, and that person is again going to cost you lot of money. So in both the firewall, what is happening? Cost it. Even these days, I have not mentioned one name. Fortinet firewall is there. I do not know what the JNU is using, but I have seen in northern region, most of the university or college, they are using one new firewall called Fortinet also. That also start from 20 lakh rupees, and they also provide you, although they now provide you software based firewall also, hardware, but I'm taking that mostly people, they are using the hardware firewall. Again, we need specialized person. Then we know that Microsoft is everywhere. So Microsoft has got their own firewall. The name of that firewall is a firewall. So it is going to cost you money. Plus you need 2003, 2008 or 2012, 16, 19 or 23 servers. That is additionally going to cost you. But hardly less than 1% people they use this type of firewall, because in industry Windows is not considered that much secure. And so now we are moving towards the fourth firewall, Linux based IP tables firewall. It is free, open source. The quality is same, even sometimes we call this is better quality than those paid product. And whenever you are going to install Linux, by default this firewall will be there. So in my case, in our case, what will be, we will be giving the example of this firewall, Linux based net filter IP table firewall. And please remember, 30% of the industry they use this firewall. And who can run this firewall? A person having the knowledge of 10 Linux commands. And if I have to teach you Linux 10 command, hardly 1 hour it will take. So that means within 1 day we can teach Linux. Second day, what you can do? Already when you are going to install Linux, that firewall will be available. But the most important thing is how to use this firewall. Open source products are available.
All are open source.
No, this I am talking. These are proprietary. So we are comparing that these are the paid product and this is free product, and we are telling that this free product quality is equivalent or sometimes better than this. And in our case, I am giving the example of this firewall. Is this clear? Now please remember, whenever you are using any firewall, you need to remember 3 things about the firewall. First thing is type of firewall. Regarding firewall, 3 things are important. First of all, type of firewall. Second is direction of firewall, in which direction we are going to apply the firewall. And third is what things firewall is going to block or permit. These 3 things are important. So we are going to discuss one by one these 3 things. Let me give you one real example. If I have to teach you how to drive, so first thing I will show you what is the importance of red light and green light. If there is green light, what you have to do? If it is red light, what? Then second thing, where is race, where is brake? In my personal case, I have never been able to learn driving. Mostly what happens, in my case personally, sometimes when I have to press the brake, I press the race, and so I have to always keep the driver with me. That means I am not able to learn one basic principle, and that is a big handicap for me. Same way, if you are into any firewall, please, if three things are clear that we are going to discuss, then you can operate this IP table firewall or any other firewall. Suppose I have teach you one car, Maruti 800, old one, by using that driving. Once you know driving, you can move to Mercedes, BMW, any car. Principles are the same, little bit adjustments are there. So if there is any firewall, if we are going to discuss those three things, if those three fundamentals are clear, then we can operate any type of firewall. But in my case, I will be giving you the example of IP table firewall. But if you want to move into Cisco firewall, or that you can say Checkpoint or Fortinet, principle will be the same. Little bit adjustment you have to make. So what we are going to do, we are going to make our fundamental clear. And please remember one thing, this I have created one online firewall course also. Industry people use my course, even in foreign countries, their companies, they use my firewall, my course for teaching their employees the firewall, because in that I have stressed about the fundamentals. What are the fundamentals of the firewall? And then what you can do, you can put those concepts anywhere. So same thing I am going to. So first thing is type of firewall. That means when you are going to deploy the firewall, you have to decide which firewall you are going to use. Like yesterday I was giving the example, if you are going to go to any car showroom, you are not going to say, give us the car. What that show owner will be doing, they will be giving one car in which they have got the maximum profit. So here also you cannot go to some networking company and can say, please give us the firewall. You have to specify whether you want to use the filter firewall or NAT firewall or Mangle firewall. So now one by one I am going to explain what are these firewall and which companies are using which type of firewall. So the most common firewall you will find will be filter. 90% of the firewall they are filter. Filter when I am saying ki block HTTPS from this address, or please do not allow this person to download this thing, or do not allow that person to remotely access my system. What we are doing? We are filtering the traffic. Filtering means we are allowing certain traffic, we are blocking certain traffic. Like in our houses, we have got water purifier are there, water filters are there. What is the purpose of that filters? They will not let the impurities pass through. So most of the firewalls, what they are filter firewall. Then we have got second type of firewall is NAT. And NAT is further of two varieties, SNAT and DNAT. So let me elaborate on, because we have got lot of time available. We are spending two whole session on this. So I am going into great detail so that firewall fundamentals are clear, crystal clear to you. And we will be giving the demo of each and everything also. So we want to discuss about this SNAT and DNAT. So first let us understand what is SNAT. Now you will find that most of university or colleges, you give these type of addresses 192.168 to your systems, or you give the addresses 172 series or 10 series. That means private addresses you give to your system. In JNU also, I do not know whether they are using 192 series or 172 series or 10 series. 10 series use they are using. That means now yes, private series. Because we have to use the private series, we can, if GNU have got 5,000 system, they cannot use the real address on 5,000 system. That will be very costly. Although GNU might be having 32 approximately real IP or 128 real IP, I do not know, but certainly they will not be having 5000 real IP addresses. So we have to use the private addresses. And by using private addresses, we always want to access the internet. That is the first requirement. But the problem is, internet prohibits. In internet, we have got already firewalls implemented. We do not call those firewall, we call them access control list. On internet, ACLs are there, which prohibits the traffic from these private range. That means if your system is, suppose from this I want to access yahoo.com, from this Google, Facebook. But the problem is internet has blocked the internet access from these addresses. They have already put the ACL firewall rule. Please do not allow the traffic from 172 series or 192 series to enter into the internet. But you will say we are able to access. Why we are able to access? Because we put one device in our organization. Mostly that device is called proxy server. So in proxy server, what we do? We at least have two LAN cards. One LAN card, second LAN card. One LAN card is connected with this internal network, and another LAN card will be having one public address. Now what happens if it is going to say that I want www.yahoo.com? What will be the source address? If it is directly going to internet, it will block the traffic. So what your proxy server does, when it enters into this proxy server, before sending the request to the internet, it changes the source address. Suppose आप कहाँ से सब belong करते हो? सब फरीदाबाद से. ये क्वेश्चन बहुत पूछते हैं, चलो ठीक है, बीच में पूछते रहते हैं. So suppose I am saying that next time I am not going to teach any person from the Faridabad. I don't like, I will not teach. Now he finds that sir is okay, he wants to attend, but he knows that I will not teach anybody from the Faridabad. So next time when he will come, he will say I am from Gurgaon. But he is manipulating source address. He is manipulating the source address. He is saying I am from Gurgaon. So here also, when the traffic, this proxy server sends the traffic, it changes this address. It changes the source address to some public address. So net pay, when this traffic goes, that restriction is not there. So what is happening? This proxy server is nothing. Source network address translation. So proxy server's technical name is source netting. So, SNET device. So all whenever you have to use the private addresses, you will have one SNET device. Technically, what we call that as a proxy server. We always say that Pakistan is fighting proxy war with us. What is the meaning of that? Proxy war, not directly, indirectly. And sometimes you say in classroom, please मेरी proxy लगा देना. So proxy means they are manipulating source address. Is this clear? So this is SNET example. So what happens? What the banks need? In the banks, we need internet access on each and every terminal. So mostly bank people, they use banks, they use this NAT type of firewall. But we have just discussed about which thing? SNET. We want to discuss about DNAT also. So let me. So in this lecture, your networking fundamental will also get clear, because only then you will be able to justify the firewall. So now I am moving toward the DNAT also. Now what happens? Now sometimes certain organization, they will go to the GoDaddy, certain web hosting provider, and they will take the space there from launching their own site. But I am certain that the JNU people are hosting their own website. Sir, आप locally है host कर रहे हो कि it is from
नहीं local host नहीं है.
a local host नहीं है. But certain organization, what they do, they host their website locally on their local server. Suppose I am organization, my organization, what they want? They want to launch their own website. One is we will go to the GoDaddy type and we will take the space from there. But here what I do, I want to use my own server. Suppose my organization one. Now in my servers, what will be the address? I will be using again some 10 series 172 or this type of address. Suppose this is my address. Now what I will do, I will install Apache web server on this. Now I want to make this website available to all the world. So here I am showing the internet. But the problem is, this is private number. Internet people cannot reach. This is the problem. So second solution is, what I will do, I will change this into the public address. But sometimes we have implement so many things there. It is not feasible to change that publicly. And second thing, I do not want to change. I want that my server should be using this address only. But internet people, they should be able to. What I will do, I will deploy DNAT device. Again, DNAT device will be having two addresses. One will be public, one will be private. Private will be connected with this public. Now suppose this is 60.0.0.1. Any public address. Now what we will do? We will advertise to the internet that our website's address is 60.0.0.1. Now what will happen when the people will come to the 60.0.0.1? What this will do? It will send the traffic to this. Sometimes when certain shop get shifted, what they put there? ये शॉप यहाँ से शिफ्ट हो गई है ताकि वो आए तो यहाँ पे ट्रैफिक ये रियल एड्रेस है तो क्या यहाँ पे लोग पहुँच जाएंगे? They will be able to reach. So we use the destination name. That means if you are changing the destination address, that is the example of DNAT. And if for certain purpose, if we have to change the address we have to change the address source, what we do? Sometimes it happens in our families. Sometimes we want to go to Goa. Suppose I want to go to Goa, but I want to go alone. I don't want to take my family with me. So if I am going to say that I want to go to Goa, they will say we. So my family, they just hate Linux because in early part of my life I was always praising Linux is so beautiful, so this, and my wife used to say, आप सारा दिन Linux की praise करते रहते हो, मेरी तो कभी की नहीं. So in our house it is prohibited to discuss about the Linux. So if I have to go somewhere, some place where I just want to, I always say मैं Linux की workshop लेने जा रहा हूँ. She will never come with me. But actually, I am just manipulating the destination. Actually, I want to go somewhere else, but I am manipulating the destination. So here, if somehow, if you are manipulating that destination, that is the example of DNAT. And if somehow you are manipulating the source address, that is. So in this type of firewall, please, source net manipulation is there. We will be giving the example of both. The SNet I will be giving the example DNAT. So either the firewall is going to be filter or net. Now third one, Mangle. Now I think Wednesday, Monday I was having the class at Chandigarh, and I belong to one small place called Moga. And my class was at 2:30, that means 2:30 to 4 o'clock, and I have to return back also. So I took my driver and personal car with me, 170 kilometers. But these days in Punjab, lot of checking is happening. So when I was going from Moga to Chandigarh, at two places they stopped my car. Now when they are stopping the car, that means wastage of time is there. Now next time what I want, whenever I am traveling from my place to Chandigarh, I do not want the police person to stop my car. So what I am going to do, I am going to put red light on my car. What will happen? The policeman will know that some VIP person is going, so mostly they will not try to stop. That means the policeman knows that two types of traffic is there. One is normal traffic, one is VIP traffic. They will give the preference to the VIP traffic. Now same type in internet we have got two type of traffic. Suppose if I am sending the mail, if it is reaching 2 or 3 seconds late, not a big issue. But what about voice over IP call? If we are getting the call in Punjab, we mostly get the call from Canada. What we want? It should not be time lag, immediately. That means that VIP traffic should be given preference of the other traffic, like normal mail, that type of traffic. So this is exactly what the Mangle firewall is going to do. In Mangle firewall, what we will do? We will put certain mark on the traffic. That means this is urgent traffic. So the in-between firewalls, what they are going to do? They will give the preference to this type of firewall. Generally, telecommunication companies, they use this type of firewall because they have to distinguish between the services. If this is more fast or reliable service, this is that type of service, they are going to use this Mangle type of. So please, when I talk about this IP tables firewall, it supports properly filter. By default, when you will do implement the firewall, it by default NAT also, and it supports in experimental stages Mangle also. But in our case, we will be looking at this and this only, we will not be looking at. So that means first thing is which type of it. That means as a telecommunication company, like Jio people, they might be using the Mangle facility. And another name of Mangle is quality of service. In networking, you might have read that quality of service is coming, in which certain traffic will be given preference, certain will be given less preference. So first thing is clear. That means type of it could be filter, it could be NAT, means certain manipulation of source or destination, and third is your Mangle, which in which we are going to distinguish about the. And IP table supports all these three. Second thing. Now this is very important. For demo, I will be using 4 systems. Like yesterday for IDS I was using 3 systems, but for firewall I will be using 4 systems. One system is going to be 192.168.0.2. This will be my Windows system. This will be my Windows system, and this will be 2 Linux system. What rest they will be having? 172.24.0.11, and this will be 172.24. Let me show also, and then we will discuss about what is the meaning of direction, and this is the most important thing. So in my case, I will be taking 4 systems again through virtualization. So I am showing you one by one. This is going to be my Windows system. What is the command which you can use to find out the address? This is normal thing. It is having the address 192.168.0.2 according to the diagram. This one. Now I am moving towards this system 172.24.0.11. So I will go to this system. That means when I am clicking on this client 11 system, let us check. In Linux the command is Either you can use if config or latest version of Linux, they do not contain this if config command. IPAS is the command that you can use. And what is the address? 172.24.0.11. This is the second system. And this is the third system. Again, we are going to check if config, and it is having the address 172.24.0.31. Again, let us move to the diagram. That means I am having, this is 192.168.0.2, this is 11 system. If you are going to carefully look, this belongs to which network? 192.168.0.0 network. And what about these? To which network they belong? 172. Will they be able to communicate or not if I am not going to put any device between them? Suppose I have put switch between them or hub between them. No. Why?
Because these are private.
Not private, because they belong to different networks. This is 192.168 network, and it is 170. They will not be able to communicate. So, if they are a different network, what device we need? We need router. And please remember, when we talk about routers, the first thing that comes into our mind is Cisco router. But Cisco, one normal router is will start from 1 lakh rupees, and it could be up to 2 crore. Now, it is not necessary that if you want a router facility, you have to always purchase Cisco router. You can make your Windows system as a router. You can make your Linux system as a router. So, in my case, what I did, although in diagram I am just showing Cisco router, but actually this is my Windows system. My Linux system. In Linux system, what I have done, I have put 2 LAN cards. 1 LAN card, 2 LAN card. 1 LAN card is having the address 192.168.0.1, so that it should be able to communicate with this one. And second interface is 172.24.0.1, so that it should be able to communicate with this. Normal router also, Cisco router, they will have 2 interfaces or 3 interfaces or 4 interfaces. If you have got 3 networks, we will purchase one router with 3 interfaces, and 4 network, 4 interfaces. So here also, then what we have to do? Simple Linux system will not do. We have to implement some technology to make it a router. So in my case, what I did, I took 4th system. So let me show you. So in my case, let me log in. So I will increase the font size, and here I am just going to run the command again, but because the output will be more, so I am using less or more command. Now if you are going to carefully look, it is having how many interfaces? Simple thing. And one is having the address 172.24.0.1. Is this clear? Then just I have to, in Linux is so beautiful, again I am using that. You have to just in one file just make one change from 0 to, we have to make one change, 1 it will become router. Let me show you that also, because we have got lot of time available. So in my case, when I was making it as a router, I just made one change in this file. This is one file. Okay, again the big file is there, so always what you can do, you have to open with simple. parameter. When you will install here, IP forwarding will be 0 value. Just one change from 0 to 1, your Linux system start behaving as a router. And when initially Linux came, the only use of Linux was because at that time Cisco routers were very costly. So they used to take some Linux system and they used to put 2 LAN cards and it used to. Right. So in our case, we made this as a router. So is this clear up to? So let me again go to the diagram. Now I think lab is clear. That means this is Windows system, these are 2 Linux systems, and this is my Linux system having 2 interfaces. Now I want to see whether my router and this lab is working properly or not. So what I will do, I will go to this system and which command I should run? Ping command, famous command, whenever we have to check the connectivity. So what I will do, I will go to this system and I will try to ping to this system so that we should know that our lab is working properly. If lab is not working properly, how we can give the demo of the firewall? So first we have to properly set the lab. If it is able to ping, then we will know that every networking is working properly, router is working properly. Now we can go ahead with our firewall. So let me go to the Windows system. So if at any time you have got doubt, please ask me. So I will go to the Windows system and which command I am going to run. And why I am putting -t? Anybody?
Timestamp.
Okay, let me remove this. First of all, whether it is pinging, that means our router.
It's fine.
How many ping it has sent?
4.
So let us see also. 3, 4, 5,
Continuously.
endless. Sometimes when we are troubleshooting, if connectivity is not there, we will. And please, another use of this command is, suppose I am designing networking of GNU. When I am going to hand over the networking, that means I have done everything perfectly. How GNU people are going to test, or how I will prove that this networking that I have done, it will be perfect. So what I will do, in the morning 9 o'clock, I will run this command up to 5 o'clock. Now it will send suppose 5,000 packets. What answer you are going to get? In this case, it is getting 12 out of 12. Now, if it is saying 5,000 out of 5,000 reached perfectly, that means it was not down for even a single second. That means for troubleshooting and other purpose we use. But in our case, our lab is working properly. Now we want to understand the second thing, because we said that first thing you have to understand is type of firewall. Now second thing, the most important is direction of firewall. Now to make it more clear, suppose I am very actually I am very punctual about the timings. Here it is okay or something, but if you are going to come into my office, suppose I am taking the class in my premises, if I have said that 10 o'clock, you cannot be there at 10.1. So suppose here also I have put that type of restriction, that at 10 o'clock or 9:30 what I will do, I will lock the room from the inside. That means after 10 nobody should be able to enter into this room. It is okay, my purpose will get solved, but there is one issue with this solution. if somebody who is already inside, if I have locked the room, properly put the lock, if somebody who is already inside, will that be able person will be able to go out?
Yes.
No, I have put the lock, key is with me.
खोल
No, lock, physical lock. I have put that. So run खोद that is different thing. But as that means the solution was okay, but there was certain issue with this. Now here also what happens, let us first discuss and then we will find out what is the problem. Now in my case, this is my Linux system. And please remember, because it is Linux system, I can create the users. So in my case, I created 2 users there. One was Vipin user and one is Anandka user. And I have implemented here Telnet server. I have implemented SS server, web server and FTP server. First of all, let me discuss Telnet. Suppose there is some client servers are in Mumbai. Currently I am in Delhi. So they have got certain problems in their server and they want me to troubleshoot. So how I am going to troubleshoot? First thing is I will go to the Mumbai. No, that is not the recommended practice. Second thing is I will use the Telnet protocol to access their server. And remotely what I can do, I can troubleshoot. Because this is security class, Telnet is not the recommended. Because Telnet sends the password in clear text, so it is prohibited. Mostly we do not use Telnet for managing the root server, but still certain older servers or certain older Cisco routers are there which only support Telnet type of thing. Means still we need to use. So Telnet is basically used for remote management. Because Telnet is not the preferred way, so second solution is your SSH, secure shell. That means normally when I troubleshoot remote server, I always use the SSH. So Telnet and SSH are for remote management. So in my case, I have implemented both servers. Then I have implemented the third server, that is web server. When you visit any site, that is sent to you by the web server. So I have implemented that also. And when you download anything from the internet, that is sent to you by the FTP server. So here in my case, I have also implemented the FTP server. Now I am giving you the example of direction. Now suppose I am here. And I am saying that I will not allow this system to access any of these services. Now what is happening? Traffic is originating from here and I am sitting here and it comes under input direction. So when I was 10 o'clock, I was putting the restriction that was in input direction. I do not want the people to enter into this input direction. Please keep in mind. Here also if I am going to say, I will not allow this to access my web page. So what should be the direction? Input. When the traffic is coming towards the firewall, that is input direction. Now second case we are taking. I am sitting here. I am saying that I will not allow this system to ping to this system. Now traffic is originating from here. It is going out. What is the direction? Out. And here also if I am going to say this cannot access this system, direction is out. Now third case. When I was pinging from this system to this system, now what the traffic was doing? It was not stopping here. It was going and it comes under. So when you are implying the firewall, deploying the firewall, you have to specify the
input or output direction.
So if I am going to lock, I have to lock in such a way only I should
Stop the input.
stop the input. I should not stop the output. So that is solution is correct. I should not have put the lock. I should have put just that kundi. Yes. I was not finding the English word, so that is the best thing. Kundi. Still I will say kundi. Okay. So input output, and third is forward. Now what is happening actually in real life? Mostly I have seen the organization, because 31 March is coming, colleges, university have to spend the remaining budget. So at that time they try to make non-rationalized decision. They want to spend certain grant. And sometimes they are purchasing certain costly products, suppose firewall they have purchased. Now once we have purchased the firewall, it is purchasing is easy. Now because we have purchased, we will deploy that also. Now what happens when the administrator deploys their firewall? I have seen that mostly by evening or by next day they have to remove the firewall. Why? Because as a firewall admin, they block that input traffic. That means from outside the people should not be able to access our server. But somehow what they are indirectly doing, like in the first case, we have put the lock there. So what happen? Internal people, they are not able to access the websites there or payment gateway, that type of thing. So by evening, lot of people start abusing that admin. What you have done? Our nothing is working, and with panic, and that firewall is always. The problem is not with the firewall. Problem with the admin, because he or she is not able to understand the direction of the firewall. So it is clear, when we will be deploying the firewall, we have to specify whether it is going to be input direction or output direction, or third will be forward. And please remember, we are talking about IP tables firewall. Cisco people say it is not input, it is in a direction. Little bit nomenclature is different. And to output direction, they say it is not output, it is out. And to forward, they say there is nothing like forward. First it is in, then it is. Little bit implementations are different, but fundamentals are same. So is this clear up to this point? That means first we have to select the type of firewall. Second is the direction of firewall. And now the third thing. Once we have discussed the third thing, we will move into the practical thing. Now, my question to you people is firewall going to block virus or not? मैं आप लोगों से पूछता हूँ. Is the already 8 to 9 days you have attended a lot of firewall, lot of session. My question is firewall going to block virus or not?
No, sir. Only traffic.
They are saying no. Anybody yes also, or certain confused persons also? Okay. I have seen when I ask this question, is the firewall going to block the virus or not? Almost 1/3 people they say that no, it is not going to block. 1/3 person they will say it is going to block virus. 1/3 are always diplomatic. They will neither say yes, neither say no. That means we are not certain. So third thing that we are going to discuss, it will tell you whether the firewall is going to block virus or that type of thing, or firewall is going to block which thing or permit which thing. So we have to discuss the third thing. That OSI model will decide, and we hate OSI model. Everybody, including me also. But the problem is, if you have to find out which type of firewall traffic the firewall is going to block or allow access, we have to discuss the OSI model, and I will not take 1 hour. within 5 minutes we want to discuss the OSI model from practical point of view. And this OSI model is going to decide. It is not that syllabus they have created just वैसे ही syllabus बना दिए हैं. There is certain logic behind this. If you want it to go into complex networking, you need the knowledge of that type of thing. So this OSI model is going to decide. So I am taking that two systems. I am taking that example from practical point of view. So suppose I have got 31 system is there, and one is my one system. Suppose there we have got web server is there. So now from this system, from browser, I will try to access the web server there. Now please remember these three layers are your data layer. Let me give one real example. In my case, I have got one very close friend, Shekhar, in Bangalore. Suppose on his birthday, I want to send him a Parker pen as a gift. That Parker pen is your data.
Yes.
So what I have to do? I have to wrap that Parker pen as a gift pack. In that gift pack, what I have to write? His name, address, phone number. Because it is costly pen, I will write my number also, phone number. In case he is not getting, it should be returned back to me. So here also what this does. So let me show that diagram also. This is data. What your transport layer is going to do? Put source address, and because this is in our case website, it will be having the address. And please remember, like मैं जो guest house में ठहरा हुआ हूँ, that room number they have given me is 16. ये इसका room number क्या है? Any room number of the 101. Okay. That means morning में मैं क्या किया? My source room was 16. Destination room 101. अब after जब शाम को class खत्म हो जाएगी, what will be? This will be my source room. That means when we send the request, this will be the source port, this will be the layer, and when the answer will come. So this is the purpose of which layer? Transport layer. Then network, source IP, that's right. Then it will be MAC address, source MAC. So let us represent it dynamically. Is this clear? Data, source port, destination port, source IP, destination IP. Now please remember, firewall never checks the data. It checks mostly 95% time of these 6 things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. तो वायरस कहाँ होगा? So now what is the answer?
No.
Is the firewall going to block the viruses?
No. Never.
No. So you should be clear कि आपने ब्लॉक तो पूरे JNU के वायरस ब्लॉक करने थे, and you have purchased the firewall. No, that will not be the solution. You should purchase network-based antivirus. That should be, or the product that we discussed, intrusion detection system. It will also detect those viruses also. Yes. Because it does not have to check the data like when we go to the mostly railway station or bus stand. Not proper luggage checking is there. So entry is fast. But what about the airport? Slow, because they check the data. So in this case also, firewall is considered very fast product because it does not have to check the data. It only will say, like मैं जब कल GN में enter कर रहा हूँ, they did not check my luggage. उन्होंने just मेरे बारे में पूछा, कहाँ से आया? That fast entry. But same time, once I was taking into some जो भारती 9 क्या होता है नवरत्ना companies and bells. Although I was expert there, but still lot of checking was there. They were even checking whether I have got the pen drive also or not. They do not allow pen drive in there. So lot of physical checking mean 15-minute checking was there. Physical everything. Simple enter करते टाइम ही नहीं फिर कुछ ले तो नहीं क्या so lot of checking is involved then it will get through. So firewall is basically this is and please remember for mangle. Second thing is your direction of firewall. It will be input, output or forward. And then on which 6 parameter we can block or allow, it will be in these, or let me elaborate. It will be on source MAC, source IP, source port, destination, and out of these also 95% and it will be either on destination port, destination IP and source IP. Is this clear?
Yes.
Now we are ready to move into the practical demo. So in my case, yes.
Sir, after tea break, you can do.
एक आधी कमांड चला दें. टी की ब्रेक के बाद का अभी कितना हो गया टाइम?
अभी 5 मिनट है सर.
5 मिनट एक आधी कमांड.
टी तैयार है सर इसमें.
टी तैयार है?
हाँ सर.
No issue.
समझ कीजिए
5 मिनट सर.
5 मिनट.
ठीक है सर. सर आज ही.
नहीं भूलेगा अगर पीछे मांग वो हो गया.
मैं अभी तो स्ट्रॉन्ग टी पी के आया हूँ बेसिकली ये. Okay, just 5 minutes.
आपका दिमाग का डेटा उड़ाना पड़ेगा.
मेरे को ये भी होता है कि पता नहीं टी के बाद कितने लोग आएंगे. ज़्यादा है? Okay, let me just complete this thing. So, just one thing. This was our lab. So here I have told that I have implemented telnet, SSH, web and FTP. Now I want to check whether all these services are working or not, because only then we will be able to demonstrate. So I will go to this system, 11 system, and I will try to verify whether my telnet, SSH, web.
1841 is what 1841.
That is the name of one Cisco router. Just diagrammatically I am showing, but basically this is Linux system. So let me go into this system. So I will go there. हम बस सर 5 मिनट के. So in my case, I am running one command. First we are checking telnet. So what is the command? I am saying I am sitting on 11 system. I am saying telnet, please go to which system? One system. And which user we have created on that system? I told that Vipin and Anantika.
2 users.
2 users. So, like if I have to go to your house, what I need? Not my key,
My key.
your key. So I am going to that system. So we have to specify what is the username? Vipin. And in my case, simple password I have given 1, although that is not recommended. So is telnet working? Yes. So this is how we can check whether telnet is working. But telnet is not secure. Then we have got second protocol is I am saying SSH, please go to 172.24.0.1, and when it is going to ask for the user, please give the username as a Vipin. Then what is the password? So my SSH is also working.
So
It is
पासवर्ड तो बता रहा है वो आपके पासवर्ड
कहाँ पे?
01
नहीं, पासवर्ड नहीं बता रहा वो. ये तो वैसे एड्रेस है उसका.
सिक्योर नहीं है ना.
नहीं सिक्योर है सर, पासवर्ड नहीं दिखा रहा. इवन ये स्टार भी नहीं दिखा रहा.
Yes.
Yes.
Normally Windows में you will get that many stars if 3 character password. Now third thing is we want to check web server. But how I am going to check web web server. I am running in text mode. Generally we use for website Firefox browser, Chrome, but in Linux we have got one powerful browser available in text mode, e-links. I am saying e-links, please go to this address and dump the web page. Is it showing the web server? Yes. That means web server is up. Because later on we will perform different transactions. We will say please do not allow telnet access. First we want to see whether everything is working or properly or not. Now let me test the fourth thing. FTP server. Normally you go to the browser, download icon is there, you click, download is available. Suppose you do not have the GUI, then please remember you have to use this command. You have to say FTP, name of that website or IP address of that website, then whatever is the user, what it is saying, yes, successful. So it is also working. Last thing that I want to check, then we will break for the tea. Ping, and here it will continuously go on pinging. We have to press Ctrl C to cancel. कैसे सर?
हाँ नहीं कैसे तो फिंगर तो क्लिक कर रहा है.
So in our case what we have seen that our lab is working perfectly. That means we are able to ping telnet, SSH, WebSS, FTPSS. So after T session, what we are going to do? We will take 6 to 7 different cases. We will say that this should not be able to access any service on this. Then we will say it should not be able to access telnet, or it should not be able to ping. Or then we will say please block the traffic from this. So different cases, when we will be writing the rules, we have to keep in those mind which type of firewall we will use, which direction, and which out of those 6 things we want to block or allow, that will be discussed. So I think now tea is needed. हमारे पंजाब में यहाँ पे हम चाय बोलते हैं, पंजाब में हम जो सर्व करते हैं वे चू करते हैं सर्व. Anybody आपने चू वर्ड नहीं सुना हुआ?
सुना है, बहुत सुना है.
ड्रिंक्स. पंजाब में बरातियों का स्वागत पान पराग से नहीं करते हैं, वहाँ पे अलग ढंग से करते हैं. ठीक है, चलो we will go for the break.
समझे लैपटॉप पे भेज.
हाँ. एक जिंदगी का सबक याद रखिए, कभी भी नया एक्सपेरिमेंट करना है, यूज द सैंडबॉक्स प्लीज.
13 नहीं है भाई वो